Now we're going to do some tips from the top. So can I have the ambassadors come up, please? So we have about 10 minutes or so before we do our close. And it's just our time that we're going to have some of the ambassadors up here, and we're going to answer your guys' questions. So who has a question that you would like to ask one of the ambassadors?
Krystal, invite Pam.
Nobody has a question? Oh, I'm like, all right, bye.
What was the hardest in between rank and why? How did you get out of that funk? Go for it, girlfriend. Do you have one?
What's the question?
Like, what was the hardest, like,
Jump in rank.
jump in the rank?
And how did you overcome it?
And how did you overcome it?
I can take it. Yeah, go for it. Okay. I was the master. That was the hardest.
Well, there were two like defining ranks in my business. I felt like Ruby to Emerald was really hard for, like, I feel like Emerald's hard. It's just because, like, Ruby is so achievable, but then when you go Emerald, you need 2 rubies underneath you. So it's just a big jump. But then what's cool is once you do it, then everything else goes. Like, after you got Emerald, it's so easy to go up the ranks because you just teach people how to do that. So it's really important to learn how to go Ruby and how to teach people how to go Ruby, but that was one that I struggled. But definitely for me, the jump from presidential to ambassador was the biggest struggle for me, because I kind of got to presidential. I was sharing about this in the Diamond Room. I got to presidential organically. Like, when I came into the business 6 years ago, we were taught not to place. It was actually looked down upon to place. And now things have totally changed. Now we know how good it is to place in your business to get where you want to go faster. But I got to presidential without ever placing anything in my business. And really a lot of that was just ignorance on fire. It was just excitement. And so that is not the way to do it. But that's how I got there. And so for me, the jump from presidential to ambassador, there was a lot of new things that I had to learn. There's a lot of new skills I had to learn and mindset. And I've gone through, like, we always say you're never rebuilding, you're always building. But I went through a couple times. I think I worked my way up to building to ambassador 3 times. And I would get close and then it would crumble. And then I would get close and then it would crumble. And for me, it was just this last time, when I went in March, for me it was getting the right people in my business, the right leaders, to take it to that next level. Because I didn't want to just build something for it to crumble and me to lose rank. It was important to me that I had the rank but also the bank. So I wanted to make sure it was strong. And so for me, I remember after conference, and like I said, I shared this in the Diamond Room. After conference, I remember Janessa Helmberg, she's not here right now, but she needed to go double diamond for us to go ambassador. And she was Ruby at conference. And so we were at conference and we're all excited. It's the good bonuses, double goods were just announced, and I'm talking to Janessa and I said, Janessa, you're going double diamond. And she said, okay, we're going double diamond, like really nervous. And I'm like, no, you're going double diamond. She's like, okay. And so we pushed that next month, but something was missing. And then in March, they put out a video and they said, we're gonna do double goods again. And I called Janessa and I said, Janessa, we're going, it's our time, you're going double diamond. She said, I'm going double diamond. And that next month, she went from Ruby to double diamond in the hospital while having her son. But the magic it was the first time that she truly believed, and I heard it in her. I already knew I was ambassador. I had no doubt in my mind that I was going to be ambassador, but I needed my team to believe it too, because I knew if I just stacked everything there and got her to double diamond, and her head wasn't ready for it, she didn't have that belief in herself yet, it was all going to crumble. And so that was like a defining moment in my business, for sure. All right, who else has another question? Bobby?
Sure. I want to know how each of you trains your new distributor.
You want to know how I do it?
Yeah, exactly what you do.
You see what I do.
Well, I know what I do.
What do you mean,
I'm going to be completely honest. The question was, how do you train a new distributor? So I'm going to need about 2 hours to go through A through Z. when I started, it was like that ignorance on fire. It was the excitement. And to make it so caught up in like, okay, well, I welcome this person into the business and they didn't do anything, so it must be how I'm training them. And then you gotta rethink everything, and then you come up with all of this like insane checklists and motions and 800 videos and different things like that. And I have done all of those motions of trying to figure out any, some of the basic things. I mean, I offer them a new distributor checklist. I offer them some ideas on how to put things out on social media. I ease them into it because a lot of people, like myself, I didn't really understand how a Facebook group would work. And so then what I found was I'm adding my new distributors to these team pages, their phones are blowing up, they're at work and they're overwhelmed and they're like, I can't do this, I'm too overwhelmed. So for me, a lot of my new training comes into having conversations with them and saying, so we've been talking for 3 months. Why did you decide to join this company? And getting on their level and understanding why. And if it's for $500, then it's for $500 because they're not joining for you. They're joining for them. They're not joining to get you to whatever rank. They're joining because they want that $500. And so that is something that I have that's not like on a list. It's not really a bullet point, but is really getting to know them and their goals and then meeting them there. And I let them know, like, I am gonna match the energy that you give me. So if you're texting me like at all times of the day and you're asking questions and you're excited, I'm gonna give you that energy right back. If you need me to step off a little bit and this is more of a hobby for you, then I'm gonna give you time that I would give to a hobby. And let them kind of steer how much support I give them. We launch within the first 7 to 10 days of their business. They're launching whether they have their kid or not. So we're doing an in-person launch, and I don't care if the only person there is your dog. We're still doing it because it's a learning opportunity. You can see that there's nothing I have that you don't have. It's very easy. And then I do a Facebook Live launch. I set everything up. They come, they learn, I answer the questions, they see that it's super easy and they can do it too, and most of the time the people that are joining me are much more savvy with like social media stuff than I am anyways. And then we just go from there and get them connected. So if I enroll 5 distributors in the month of, this is December, I start a small group thread with them. I connect them with each other. I say, hey, you guys are all joining the business at the same time. This is an awesome opportunity for you to get to know each other, ask each other questions, learn about each other's strengths. And those relationships have really carried some of them through. So a lot of it for me is the connections. The launch is a non-negotiable. We're launching like no matter what. I had one person at my launch party, so I always tell them, I don't care if you've got all your products set up and nobody comes, then you and me, we're practicing the party pad, and we are posting that stuff all over social media about what a great party you had. I'm so sorry that you missed it. I'm out of wraps. I probably have more coming, so I might be able to get you one, to build that hype and that excitement and to let them know I had one person at my launch party and I did okay. But at the end of the day, I think that there are tools that we can give people for them to become leaders, but ultimately, you guys are here on a Saturday afternoon. Like, you get it. So I don't think there's a huge disconnect in what you do or don't do to have someone on your team become successful.
I love that. Okay, real quick, who has a question for Carrie? We are the last one who hasn't talked yet. We've got time for one more question. Who has a question for Carrie Bauer?
We're done.
Yeah.
How does Carrie start her new distributors?
I ask them how much they want to make, if they want to be full throttle or like a full throttle distributor, or if they're just looking more of a hobby distributor, just so I can know like how much energy I want to pour into them, where they're going to go on my chart. And sometimes they say they're going to be full throttle and they don't do anything, so I don't know if that really works, but I just ask to see where their mind's at. And then I add them to the team page, welcome them, and say, let's go get those loyals. Just basic.
Keeping it really simple. I love it. Okay, we are going to move on. I know you guys have lots of questions, but we want to make sure that we get everything. And if we have time at the end, we'll definitely open it up for some more questions. Yeah, thank you guys.